Hi guys! I am on a slightly shittier camera this time than last time because I used to film things on my phone, but I don't care. I'm just gonna film this on my computer because it's the thing that's right here in front of me. So why not? Because I was sitting here and I was looking through my little collection of physical media, and I was thinking, you know what, so I deleted all my social media because I'm fucking tired of it. And so I still have Tumblr, I still have Pinterest, and I still have YouTube. And I forgot that I used to post on this channel a lot. And so I'm going to do a little thing and continue my trend of talking about music stuff. And so last time, like I said, did I say that? Last time I talked about my record collection, which has expanded since I last posted. But I will not go into that right now. But I am going to talk about my CDs this time, which is really excited. Not excited, but I also have some cassettes that I have found and I wanted to talk about as well because I found my dad's Walkman, and so obviously he doesn't need it, so I'm gonna use it. But yeah, that's my little intro. I also don't have my glasses. I don't know where they are, so I'm raw dogging the eye situation. My hair looks really bad too, which is why I'm wearing this hat. Anyways, let's get into it. Why don't I? I'm going to start off with the cassettes because it's a smaller haul. But we've got some Mariah Carey, Emotions. And this is my mom's, actually. It's a good one. I really do enjoy Mariah Carey. I also have another CD of hers. And I got into her because of my mom, which is really cool. Next off, we have this Paul McCartney live recording. I don't have the, casing for this one, but it's unplugged, the official bootleg, and it has my favorite my favorite performance of And I Love Her on this, which is one of my favorite songs ever. So, good shit. I'm actually gonna save this one for later. This is a Doors Doors cassette that my father recorded, and it's got, When the Music's Over, Gloria, House Latitudes, Moonlight Drive, and other things. It's not just 4 songs, but so cool, so fun. Then we got some Mozart, Love, also from my father, because why not? There's some concertos on here, violin stuff in G major and in D major, and I really enjoy classical music when I'm reading, so that's cool. The final thing in this cassette thing is this collection of protest music from the 60s, which is also my father's, and it's really cool. We got some, Peter, Paul, and Mary, Bob Dylan, John Lennon, of course, Imagine's on here, Give Peace a Chance, John Lennon, For What It's Worth, whatever. Some really cool shit on here, and I didn't know that we had this or anything of this, realm in here. And it's recorded by my father, so it's like his handwriting on it and stuff, which is really cool. But that's the cassette haul, and so I'm gonna move on to my CDs, which aren't really in any particular order. My records are all done by artist alphabetically, and then if there are multiple of the artists, I have those albums in order. My CDs are kind of fuck all, and so we're just gonna go through them. I also feel like I'm on fucking cocaine or something. I'm not. I'm just I'm energized for some reason because I took a nap today. Anyways, so starting off strong, we got the Smiths singles. The Sound of the Smiths particularly, and it has some. Well, you can't really see it actually. You can't see that at all. But we've got Hand in Glove, Charming Man. What difference does it make? All of these things. Some Jordan Peele sessions. I think there's some other specific little re-recordings of things. I actually don't have the CD in here because it's in my car, but that's cool. Next off, we've got Flimsy, Population 1. This is some random album that I picked up at a record store once, or a thrift store, and it turned out to be pretty solid. It's not super memorable, to be honest, but it also might just be because I haven't really listened to it in a while. But yeah, Flimsy, Population 1. Next off, this is a little special one. This is a CD I burned myself back in January 2023. And it's got some good shit on here as well. What I do with the CDs that I burn is I will take a random like greeting card and I'll cut it to fit the inside casing, and then I'll write all of the songs, the track list inside of it, which is really cool. So we got some Alex G on here, Car Seat Headdress, Enigma, Sadness, whatever. That's a good one. It has Latin in it for some reason. The Smiths, of course, TV Girl, Sufjan Stevens, Slow Drive, Slaughter Beach Dog. All the classic songs that defined January for me this past year. Which is also kind of cool because now it's about to be 2024, which is really scary. But regardless, cool. Next off, this is embarrassing. Panic at the Disco, Pretty Odd. This is one of my favorite Panic albums ever. I think it might be the album that's my favorite because of the Beatles influence in it and all of like the folky sounds, and I really do enjoy it. And sorry if my computer will like go dark every now and then. I don't really know how to fix it. But got some classics on here. It's a good one. I really enjoy it. Next off, Mariah Carey again. This is number ones, so you've got all her number one songs on here, and this is also my mom's. All of this stuff that's like old, I'll point it out, but all the old things belong to my mother or my father. Like this next one, which is Willie Nelson, which probably belonged to my mom because she really likes Willie Nelson. But there's so many songs on here, actually, and I think it's a multiple disc situation, or actually it's not. No, it is. There's only disc 2 in here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But Willie Nelson, classic. He won a Grammy this past year, and people were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" But obviously, it's Willie Nelson. What the fuck? Next up, we got Californication, Red Hot Chili Peppers. This album is. I revisited it recently, actually, because I had a little bit of a Red Hot Chili Peppers obsession around this time last year. I think because I just wanted the feeling of summer, and so I bought this, and I really do like this album. However, it's a little bit cringe to me now. I do enjoy Red Hot Chili Peppers, just not as much as I used to. I really don't understand. I don't like I can't say why, but Porcelain is my favorite song off this one, because that's one I will never get tired of, and I know that for a fact because I won't ever get tired of it. Right here we have De La Soul, 3 Bit High and Rising, except the disc and the cover for it are gone, and I think it's because the cover for it is actually on my wall in my dorm, and the CD is in my CD case in my car, but I do have this. I own it, and this is proof. Next off, we've got Billy Joel, Stranger. Also a classic one. I got some Billy Joel Piano Man in my record collection, but Moving Out, I think song, that's a good one. Vienna, classic. It's a good CD, good record. I really enjoy Billy Joel. Next up, a little bit of a pivot. Regina Spektor, Begun to Hope, which is a really underrated album in my opinion, and this is one of my favorite ones this past year, listening to it in my car. I think my favorite song off of this one is On the Radio, or Après Moi, but the entire album is a banger, and I think Regina Spektor needs some more recognition in our 21st century. Well, she's always been in the 21st century. In 2024, bring back obsessing over Regina Spektor, and bring back the twee era with Zooey Deschanel being like the queen of, little mini skirts with like tights and fucking. I love twee. I love 500 Days of Summer. If you know me, you know that whole aesthetic is like, it's key to my personality and my being. Anyways, moving on, which is another pivot. Crash by Charlie XCX, which is another banger album, dude. I love this one so much. I think Charlie XCX she's really outdone herself here. Yuck is a really good song off this one, and then Crash, obviously, and then there was another one that I really like, and I'm not remembering it correctly. Anyways, that's this one. So cool, so fun. Next off, we've got The Strokes, and this is the new Abnormal. Also, sick fucking cover. Hello? Like, that's another thing I really like about physical media is you can, like, actually look at the, you know, the album covers that these people create so tirelessly. And that's something you don't really get when you listen to music on, like, a streaming service, because the little album icon is so small, so you don't actually get to see the intricacies and the nuances and whatever. I'm being annoying, but that is cool, and I really like that. And this is also another album cover that I really like. It's When the Pawn Hits the Conflicts by Fiona Apple. I also really like this one because you've got the poem on. You can't see it. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. But you've got the poem on the cover, and so you can just, like, sit here and look at it. Next up, we got The Record by Boy Genius. Why is it like that? Yeah, The Record. Boy Genius. This is one that I bought recently, and it's a really good one. Actually, recently is a lie. It feels like recently, but it was back this summer. And my boyfriend and I were on a little trip, and I made him listen to it, and I think he really enjoyed it, and I think about that often. So, that's embarrassing. The Record. So fun. I hope this is not boring. I just wanted to make something. You know? Next up, this is a really fun one. We got Saturday Night Fever soundtrack with Bee Gees, and I fucking love the Bee Gees. And I mostly bought it because of them, but all of the other songs on here are really, they're fun to listen to, which is, I always like in a song. If it's fun to listen to, I'm down for it. I will listen to literally anything, so. And there's also some really cool photos inside. I really love trifold albums. I don't particularly like when when CDs are in these, like, paper cases, because often I'll keep my CDs in my car and would like to have the hard plastic to keep them safe, but you know what? I'll excuse it because it's a trifold. And also the record is trifold as well, so you've got some stuff in here. Wow, so cool. Moving on, we've got The Mamas and the Papas. Can't see it. Also greatest hits, also from my father. Mamas and the Papas, classic. Listened to them all throughout my childhood. Will forever listen to them. I mean, obviously, they're classic. California Dreamin'. Everyone knows that. Everyone loves it. And I love it as well. Moving on to more Fiona Apple, we've got Tidal. She is so beautiful on this back cover. I am obsessed with her. Just her entire being is so... wow. Specifically, my favorite song of this one is The First Taste. I really enjoy it. Also, what? I am Fiona Apple. Anyways, moving on. We've got George Harrison. All Things Must Pass. All Things Must Pass. 50th anniversary. It's also a trifold, and I also don't have the CD in here, but wow, that's so cool. Look at him. I love George Harrison. I think, he's not the most underrated Beatle. I think his solo work is the most underrated. Moving on to another embarrassing one. We've got MCR, Danger Days. A classic. I have Danger Days merch that I bought from Hot Topic in middle school, and I still own it, and it's in my drawer, and I wore it the other day, and it really brought me back. But Danger Days, another really good album. All of these are good albums. That's why I bought them. But I just want to emphasize that I may not be in my super deep emo phase anymore, but it really truly was never a phase. I will still forever be interested in the things I was interested in when I was 14 years old. And now I'm 19. And is it embarrassing? Maybe. But that's where we're at in life. Moving on to something more recent. Sufjan Stevens, The Ascension. This is one that at first I wasn't really down for, but since listening to it a few times while it's a good album to listen to while stoned, because he's got all of these instrumental cool, also like, again, Hello. I mean, that just kind of gives off the vibe of the entire album if you've never listened to this one. I think people are often stuck in his more popular work that's, Call Me By Your Name soundtrack and stuff. But if you are into Sufjan Stevens, his popular work, I think it's a really worthy investment to look into his, like, less popular stuff, because he's a really insanely talented artist, and I really enjoy his shit, because he's cool. But moving on, we've got ABBA Gold, some more greatest hits. This is the shit that I grew up on. We had one of these CDs, actually, in my car as a child, in the car that I now own, like, it's the one that I drive, but it was my mom's when I was a child. And I think I explained this in multiple videos, that, ABBA has had such an impact on my interest in music and the stuff that I, listen to nowadays. But will forever love this album. I love ABBA forever and always. And, oh yeah, so actually I completely forgot my story. So I had lost the original CD that I had in the car, but it was downloaded in the car. But then my friend, August, gave me this one at some point in the past year, and it's really, really good. And I'm really happy to have a physical version of it back in my hands. I'm making a complete mess over here. Anyways, so next we've got a couple Beatles stuff. We got Revolver, this is the 2022 remaster that came out last November, and actually, I really like this little graphic inside of it. It's so cool. But Revolver has been my favorite Beatles album for quite a while. I think I'm moving past it a little bit, because I over-listened to it when I got this CD, because it would be the only thing I listened to in the car on my way to from school, and while driving to my various, obligations. So I would only listen to Revolver, because I have a worm in my brain. I have an infection, and the infection is named Ringo Starr and his drumming. And specifically, this is not Ringo Starr, but specifically the intro to Taxman and figuring out who's doing the two different count-ins. Because if you listen to, this is me being nerdy, if you listen to Taxman and you hear the first 1, 2, 3, 4, like, counted in the beginning, if you listen really hard, you can hear 1, 2, 3, 4 in the background, and there's two count-ins happening there. And I think people online have said that the first one is Paul McCartney, and the main one is Paul McCartney, and the one behind it is John Lennon, but I don't know how accurate that is, so don't shoot the messenger. Just shoot John Lennon. Again, why not? Speaking of John Lennon, moving on. It's also, what time is it? 12:42 in the morning. We've got Sgt. Pepper's, obviously, another classic album. I mean, what can I say? It's Sgt. Pepper's. It's they cooked, as the kids say, on this one. I don't know, I've always been confused as to why Paul is turned around on this one, but, who knows? This is one of the album covers that I will obsess over until the day that I die, because there's so much to look at here, and there's so much to think about, and I like the younger version of the Beatles standing right there, because they look so not... Yeah. Anyways, I might actually do a whole other video about Beatles albums covers, because they're all really interesting in their own capacity. One album cover that I don't like, actually, are the Beatles, period, or the Beatles compilation albums from, they're, like, this is 1967 to 1970. The only reason why I don't like them is because it's a little bit unoriginal, but I do in fact like the fact that, if we look at 1962 to 1966, these two together, I mean, that's, like, it's in the same thing, and that's, I think, is pretty cool. And I don't really know what else they would have done for a compilation album, but I feel like they could have done more. But regardless of that fact, good album. It has, obviously, some great songs on it. I could go into all my favorites, but let's say Obadi Obada is my current favorite off of this compilation album. Next up, we have got Dragon New Warm Mountain, I Believe in You, Big Thief. It has a stain on it, so ignore that. But this is a really good album, and people really only listen to Change off of this one, I think, and Simulation Swarm, obviously. And Simulation Swarm is a really good song, but if people just took the time to listen through the entire thing, there's a lot of songs on here, and they're all pretty good. Not even pretty good, they're amazing. And I also, this is another thing I really like about this one. Look at the inside. Oh, please ignore my nails. But look at the inside. How cool and how fun is that? Love to see it. I love cool albums like that so much. Oh yeah, this is a little slip inside. We've got Jeff Buckley, Grace, another classic, one that I got into recently. Obviously Jeff Buckley is an incredible artist, and his story is really tragic. And not even just the fact that he died at a very young age, it's the fact that he only really released one studio album, and then, you know, didn't have the chance to release more. But this is a great album, and I also really like his covers on his other, like, live album thing, but it's not, like, a studio album, you know what I mean? Anyways, moving on, we've got Joni Mitchell, Clouds. This is a really good one. I recently found this one in my dad's belongings, completely unopened. Like, it still had, like, the price sticker, and it was from Barnes & Noble when the, like, median price for a CD was $5, not $10. And you know what? I will pay whatever I, like, need to support artists, but I think it's kind of funny that, like, there was a $5.99 or $4.99 sticker on here, and it was, like, it wasn't even on sale. But yeah, Clouds, Joni Mitchell. I love some good Joni Mitchell, and so it was really cool to find this one, and I've been listening to this one a lot while I've been home, because it reminds me of my childhood, and everything reminds me of my childhood, here, because it's my childhood home. Anyways, moving on. This is a cool, unique little one. We've got Discount Store by Dan Burke, which is one that my boyfriend and I picked out at a random record store, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the story of how we acquired this. And it's a really cool album, and it's one that we, like, have not heard of. And I think Dan Burke is kind of, from, like, I did a little bit of research after finding this and after listening through it, and I think he's still making shit, which is really cool, and so I gotta check that stuff out. But Discount Store, really cool. So that's another fun little thing you can do if you ever want, where you go to a record store and look in the dollar bin, and there are some really unique finds. For instance, this is a record that I just got, Utopia Teased, Steven Steinbrink, who's currently on tour as I'm speaking, with the Mountain Goats, and my boyfriend and I also got that album at a random record store, fell in love with it, and then I got to go see the Mountain Goats in concert. Opener was Steven Steinbrink, and I got to talk to him after the show, and he sold me this record. So, a little cool little moment there. This video is getting quite long, but I will continue on. We shall persist. We've got Wolf by Tyler, the Creator. This is one that I had absolutely adore Tyler, the Creator. He's so cool, like, little funky little guy. His stuff is really wonderful. I don't know, I love his shit. And there's just such a cool inside pamphlet thing in here, because it's all, like, handwritten and stuff. It's mostly handwritten. Well, no, I'm lying. There's, like, handwritten parts, and then there's some typed out parts. But I really enjoy it, like I've said a million times over, when artists put these little glimpses into the creation of the album, because it makes you feel a little bit more attached to the artist and what you're listening to, which is another reason why I love physical media, because they are able to include those things, and it's really cool and really awesome. Next, we have, also this disc and cover are gone here, but Morrissey, Your Arsenal, in here, which is Morrissey's solo album, one of them, really dislike this guy, but he makes good stuff. So I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, the CD for this one is in my car case. But yeah, I got that one at a thrift store. Pretty solid, pretty good. I was it was a really funny thing to find because it's Morrissey, and I feel like often in thrift stores I don't find stuff like that. I mostly just find a lot of Christmas albums and classical music, but that's what people are into, and that's what people are donating. So, anyways, last but not least, well, this is actually not last. I have some stuff that I have from the library that I want to show. But I've got Midnights by Taylor Swift, which is not my favorite album in the world, like, by any means. I think I bought it because it was on, like, a mega sale at some store, and it was when it first came out, or around the time when it first came out, and so I was like, I'll check it out. And there are a couple songs in here that I enjoy, but I've moved on from Taylor Swift. Like, don't, like, sue me. Like, I don't know, she's, you know, it's not even, like, her because she's a woman or anything. It's because of her general attitude towards global issues. Or, shall I say, her absence of attitude. Anyways. But yeah, now that I've made a mess out of my nice and clean little space, I'm going to go. If you listen to all of this, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I will be back most definitely with better quality and better content at some point. But in the meantime, enjoy whatever this was, and I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and have a lovely 2024. Goodbye!